Welcome to AANEM's MACRA Overview webinar series. This is the second webinar in this series. In this webinar, we will focus on the quality category of the Merit-Based Incentive Program, or MIPS. My name is Millie Sook, and I'm the Health Policy Director at AANEM. The Medicare Access and CHIP Reauthorization Act, also known as MACRA, was bipartisan legislation that was passed into law in April of 2015. This legislation repealed the flawed sustainable growth rate formula, but also changes the way that Medicare rewards clinicians for value over volume. MACRA represents a complete overhaul of the structure of the physician payments by Medicare. Under MACRA, a new framework of payment called the Quality Payment Program, or QPP, will require physicians to utilize one of two paths for reimbursement, either the Merit-Based Incentive Payment Program or advanced alternative payment models. While there are two paths to choose from under the QPP, the majority of eligible clinicians will be participating in the MIPS track, as there are very few advanced APMs that have been approved for 2017. As you can tell, MIPS combines pre-existing Medicare value-based payment programs. It also adds a new category. The four categories in MIPS are quality, advancing care information, improvement activities, and cost. In this webinar, we will be focusing on the quality category. We will be releasing additional mini-webinars that cover the other three categories, so keep your eye out for that. The quality category, in green on this chart, will make up the majority of the score for the 2017 performance year, 60%. It will count for 50% of your score in 2018, and then drop to 30% in 2019 and beyond. Proportionally, the cost category will be increased from 0 in 2017 to 10% in 2018, and finally to 30% for performance year 2019 and beyond. This graphic explains how the quality category is scored. Each quality measure you report is assigned a point value of 1 to 10, based on your performance as compared to benchmarks established by Medicare. However, because 2017 is considered a transition year and CMS wants to encourage participation, all physicians who report quality measures will receive a score of at least 3. The benchmarks used are based on data submitted by clinicians for PQRS in 2015. However, some measures in the QPP are new, so CMS will attempt to calculate benchmarks based on the 2017 performance data. Benchmarks will only be created if there are at least 20 reporting clinicians or groups that meet the criteria for contributing to the benchmark, including meeting the minimum case size, which is generally 20 patients, meeting data completeness criteria, and having a performance greater than 0%. If no historic benchmark exists and no benchmark can be calculated, then the measure will receive 3 points. You can access all of the currently available benchmarks on CMS's QPP website, links for which you can find on AANEM's MACRA webpage. The only way that you'll receive a 0 is if you report no data on a measure. Finally, as you can see on this slide, there are bonuses available for reporting additional outcome or other high priority measures, as well as for using your EHR system to report your quality data. Physicians are required to report on at least 6 measures. There are approximately 300 quality measures to choose from. However, if there are not 6 measures that are applicable to you, there is a MAV-like process which was used for PQRS that you can go through for re-weighting. You are allowed to report on more than 6 measures. If you report on more than 6, CMS will only score the measures you perform the best on. There are specialty sets available for both neurology and physiatry, from which you can select 6 measures. However, if your practice is primarily focused on neuromuscular or electrodiagnostic medicine, these may not be particularly applicable to your practice. The AANEM policy staff has reviewed all of the quality measures and created a table on our MACRA website with 32 measures that are most likely to be pertinent to AANEM members. We also have links to the neurology and physiatry measure groups on the website. For groups of 16 or more clinicians who elect to report as a group and have at least 200 attributable cases, CMS will automatically calculate a readmission measure. Additionally, groups reporting quality measures using the CMS web interface or if they are participating in a MIPS APM, will have different reporting requirements. Unlike Medicare's earlier value-based payment programs, physicians can receive partial credit in this category if they do not report the requisite number of measures. Also, in contrast to prior Medicare programs, there are no required domains or cross-cutting measures. Finally, there are bonuses available to clinicians who report quality measures via EHR, qualified registries, qualified clinical data registries, or web interface. As you will recall from our general overview webinar, which is available on our AANEM MACRA webpage, CMS is allowing providers to pick their pace in 2017. In other words, you can elect to participate as little or as much as you'd like. But if you don't participate at all, you will see a 4% reduction in your Medicare Part B payments in 2019. If you elect a test pace, you need only report a minimum amount of data for a single quality measure. Alternatively, if you choose this path, you can also choose to report data for a single improvement activity or report advancing care information measures. If you choose to partially participate, you would need to report on at least 6 measures for 90 days. If you are fully participating, you need to submit data on at least 6 measures for the full calendar year. As you can see from this slide, there are several options for reporting your quality data, depending on whether you report as an individual or a group. For more information about the Quality Payment Program, including information specific to neuromuscular and electrodiagnostic physicians, please visit our website. If you have any questions or would like additional information, please call or email the AANEM Policy Department. Finally, keep an eye out for the additional mini-webinars on the other categories in MIPS. This PowerPoint presentation will be made available on the AANEM MACRA webpage.